Hello, everyone. Welcome back to another episode of our podcast. So, for today's topic, it's something a little bit more serious, something a little bit more sensitive, but it is something that needs to be brought up and something that we need to bring light to. So, for today's topic, we will be talking about discrimination. First off, I would like to introduce myself. I am Mimi, and I'm also known as Squishy on the Discord server.
I'm Delis, and you can call me DC.
I'm Sunny, Kimchi on the Discord server.
Mm. Thank you. Thank you for coming into our podcast today and for sharing us about your experiences. So, before we start, I would like to ask you, by your own definition, what would you say discrimination is?
Personally, for me, the way I see discrimination, it's basically looking down on people. Um, yeah, basically looking down on people and basically being jealous
Mm-hmm.
or not being content with what you have.
Mm.
Yeah,
And
think
Okay. Apart from my own definition, what I've looked up on the Oxford Dictionary is that discrimination is the unjust and prejudicial treatment of different categories of people, especially based on their race, age, sexual orientation, and disability.
mm. Would you say that it's also related to your social status, your wealth, the people you surround yourself with? You know, for example, how some people are able to get jobs easily because of their connections compared to other people who might be more qualified than that person. Do you think that's a form of discrimination?
yes, yeah, that
Yeah, I
is.
think it
Yeah.
is.
Mm.
Definitely, it is.
Mm. So, why don't you tell us a little bit about your own experience with discrimination? Dilys, would you like to start first?
All right. So I've dealt with discrimination mostly in my younger days, especially in my childhood. So when I was um, around 7 or even younger than that, my family moved to a, a British place.
Mm-hmm.
So the people were over there were mostly white.
Mm-hmm.
So I went to a school that had a majority of British kids,
Mm-hmm.
and there was only a few Asian and other races. So I got bullied a lot in that school, and as Sunny said, I got looked down on. Even my parents got looked down on, and when I got bullied, I tried to speak up, and the teacher would not even care that much because they thought I would just be playing. But and I would tell my parents, and my parents would go to the principal. But even the principal would look down on my parents and say that I'm just playing. Which how could I just be playing and get bullied so terribly? I had scratches on my face. I came home bleeding and bruised. So and yeah.
So it even went to the point of physical bullying.
Yes,
Oh my God.
yeah, because I couldn't speak English that well at that
Mm.
time, and I got yeah playing as kids.
Yeah.
Mostly it was like physical activities. So
That's true. That's true.
Mm.
yeah,
I remember I would get injured, but it was not from a result of discrimination, but it was more of just us kids being rough with each other. But which country was this, may I ask?
the United Kingdom.
Oh, you were in UK.
Yes.
I see. What about you, Sunny?
Um, yeah, I faced discrimination, but mostly, yeah, discrimination, racial, and even, yeah, even because of the shade of my skin, not the color of my skin, but the shade of my
Mm.
skin. There are people who are darker who look down upon me.
Mm.
Um, yeah, and then they call me names. They used to call me names, but right now I don't. It doesn't really affect me. But when I was younger, we had this school trip, right?
Mm.
It was like a sort of an exchange program, right? Where we go to France, right? We're learning French, so we went there to look at the culture and how and to actually speak French in a French speaking country. And I think this was like our second day in France, and we had gone to a McDonald's, right? And we're just in line. We're just about to order, and then there were a few people in front of us, and they were talking. They were speaking French. At that time, we were still learning French, so we didn't really understand. So fortunately for us, we had a friend who spoke French, and he basically translated what they were saying to us. You know, so they were actually calling us racial slurs, right? Um, and so yeah, he told us that they were calling you guys racial slurs and whatnot. And at that point, when you're still young, you feel a certain way. Is it because what did I do? You start blaming yourself,
That's
you
true.
know. So we just after that we just went quiet. You know, we didn't really participate in much, and it happened again, but in the same trip. This was towards the end. We went to a youth hostel. It was basically like a youth hostel for internationals and whatnot. And generally, the youth hostel was really good. It was cool. You know, you get to meet people from different races and countries and whatnot, exchange of culture. And it was like a farewell party kind of thing. So there was dance floor. So when the group I was with went down to dance, you know, went to dance, and then the whole dance floor just went. It just cleared up,
Yeah.
right? At first, you think when one or two people clear up, you think that they're tired or they're going to sit down. If three or four people clear out, maybe space, the one space. But then when the whole thing just clears out, when as soon as you step in on the floor, then you wonder to yourself like,
What's going
yeah, what's
on?
going on?
Why
Yeah,
why would you leave the
and
dance
yeah,
floor?
exactly. So that's the yeah, that's basically what I experienced.
So how did you cope with this situation?
Um, well, it wasn't really. It was like the first time I'd actually been discriminated against, like racially, directly,
Yeah.
right? But indirectly, there were a lot. There had been situations that I've been discriminated indirectly. So I just, just like because I had friends, so we just talked about it, and we laughed about it eventually. Like we started laughing about it, and I think that's how we coped. Started joking about it, like laughing about it.
Yeah.
So yeah.
What about you, Dilith? How did you cope with that situation?
Oh, eventually my family moved out of that area, and then and my parents found better schools for me. So from after that incident, I'm really thankful to God that I got to go to like really nice schools.
Oh,
Yeah.
that's good. That's good. At least you went to a way better school, so people were more accepting of you.
Yes, they
They were
were.
more friendly.
Yeah.
They were nicer
They,
too.
yep.
That's good. That's good. All right. So, okay, so now we're gonna be looking into direct discrimination. So both experience that you guys have talked about, those are both examples of direct discrimination. How do you think we can deal with this type of discrimination?
I guess actually speaking about it, bringing it up, and not just at a personal level like we are doing here, maybe a national level or just a bigger level, and then education, I guess. Yeah.
Yeah,
Yes,
what about you?
I agree that
You agree as
education
well?
plays a huge part.
Definitely, for sure.
Yeah, and then I think if people get to know each other more, if different cultures get to mingle with
Yeah.
each other more and learn about each other, I think discrimination would be less.
I think parents also play a lot of role because my parents always taught me don't treat other people differently just because they're of different status, they're
Yeah.
of different ethnicities, they're
Mhm.
of different culture. So whenever, my parents, whenever we come back to our apartment, there would be like cleaners sweeping the floor outside and everything. My parents would always buy food for them, invite them inside to have tea with us. My parents have always taught us to be nice to everyone regardless of their gender, regardless of their status, their age, whatever. Be nice to everyone because we're all humans, we're all people, even if we're from different country, we speak different languages, we have different culture. In the end, like, we were all born from the same thing, and we were all gonna go out of this world in the same way.
Mm.
So that's why it's also important. And I think moving abroad definitely change a lot of perception, especially when you move to a place where there's more diversity,
Mm.
racially and culturally. I was able to experience different cultures when I moved abroad in high school. And I'm really, really grateful for that experience because then I understood, oh, so these people, they have this kind of tradition. So I understand the reason behind that tradition now. Before this, I just could not understand until I actually experienced it myself, until I actually saw it myself. So now we're gonna be looking into another type of discrimination, which is indirect discrimination. So it's basically just discrimination that is unintentional. So do you think it's harmful, to have that kind of discrimination?
I think in some ways it can be harmful.
Mm. So
Yeah.
yeah, would you like to tell us more?
Or all right. So actually, I heard there was actually this case, that a woman, a police officer, like she was applying for this job,
Mm.
and she got rejected because of the requirements of having someone who is this a certain height and a certain weight. She has the height, but she doesn't have the I- enough weight.
Mm-hmm.
But she is strong enough to be a police officer
Mm.
and do the task. But and then she went to court to say that she got indirectly discriminated.
Mm.
uh, and I if I remember correctly, she actually won the case, and then it's a case of indirect discrimination. That although they didn't specifically specify that they're discriminating against women, but it's the requirements. There there can only be like, I think, like 40% of men can get accepted, and only like 1% of women can get accepted. So it's like,
It's still
it's
dominated by
yeah,
mostly men.
yes.
Yeah.
So yeah, if I remember correctly, there was this
Mm.
case.
I think even especially for industry that is heavily influenced by the looks, for example, like the models and flight
Yeah.
attendants,
Yeah.
it's
Yeah.
very important that they fit a certain criteria. But what about other people who do not fit the criteria but are really, really interested and also really talented? So I would you also say that is a form of discrimination?
I
Yeah.
think
Yeah.
yeah.
Mm.
I guess, yeah, it's discrimination, like you were saying for air hostesses,
Mm.
right? Like air attendants.
Mm-hmm.
They have this. I think they have to fill in a certain criteria. You
Mm-hmm.
have to be a certain height, a certain weight. So as to so it can you can be the faces of the airlines,
Yeah.
right? Which is more inviting to customers,
Mm.
right? But if we had like a different standard for
Yeah.
for these, maybe I think more people would be interested in different jobs,
True.
because if you have a set standard or yeah, a set standard,
Mm.
then you're going to lose most people who are interested, and most of them will be like really qualified, even
Yeah.
like
Yeah.
overqualified for the job.
True.
So you'll be losing quality.
Yeah, and also actually I think was it this month or last month my friends and I, we were talking about this job description. It was posted in Miri
Yeah.
by like a really big grocery company.
Yeah.
Like, I'm not gonna mention the name of the
Yeah.
the supermarket that are hiring people.
Yeah.
So basically, it's a supermarket that's hiring people. So in its job description and job requirements, they required people who are willing and available to work on days on Gawai, which is a national, which is a celebration for the Dayas, for which means the harvest season. So
Yeah.
every June 1st, so like they might be taking like 1 week leave and stuff. And a lot of people in the comments were attacking the person who was hiring the employees because they thought that this person was discriminating against the Dayas who are celebrating Gawai. But honestly, it's not something that it's not that they are directly
Yeah.
discriminating. They did not actually say that, oh, we do not want Dayas to take this job. They were just saying that we want people who are available on that specific public holiday to work because most of their employees are, Dayas.
Yeah.
And if all of them go on holidays, who would be there to work the grocery stores?
Mm.
So it can be indirect, but it's not like they directly. I mean, it's not like they direct the
Yeah,
the
definitely.
restriction on these
Yeah,
people.
it was basically no. I think if I was in that situation, I think I would do the same thing because it's because okay, your like most of your employees are going for the holiday. That's good. You're giving them time for the holiday because there's some companies don't actually give you time for holidays. So the fact that you're giving time for the holidays, like even like a week for them to do their cultural celebrations and festive celebrations, that's actually a good thing, right? And then you put up a notice saying that since these guys are going to be on holiday, we
Yeah.
need more people, right? I honestly think there's nothing wrong. They did nothing wrong. They actually,
Yeah, exactly. They did nothing wrong, but maybe they could have worded it in a way
yeah,
that
probably,
those people would not be offended in the
yeah,
Mm.
comments. But but then yeah, people are more sensitive. People are actually very sensitive when it comes to these types of requirements.
yeah.
Even like casting companies when they cast
Yes, yes, yes.
characters, like they want to cast actors and actresses, even they have like specific characteristics, but that's not, if you actually think about it, it's not really a form of discrimination.
Discrimination,
It's
no.
just they are looking for people that actually fit their criteria. But if you look into private sectors in Malaysia, some of them still do prioritize one ethnicity over other ethnicities. I actually did this research while I was doing my assignment last week.
Yeah.
I found that private sectors in Malaysia, they prefer the Chinese females over other ethnicities such as the Malays and Indians.
Oh,
And then also they have this quota in workplaces where they hire the natives, like mostly the natives, and then they fill up the rest with non-natives. The
oh,
natives being, I think, the Malays, the
yeah,
Dayas, and the Orang Ulus,
yeah.
and the non-natives being Chinese and Indians. If I'm not mistaken, please don't cancel me. I should have done more research before I did this podcast. But yeah, you get what I mean.
Yeah.
Some companies, they hire these different ethnicities just to fill up the racial quota, and then I don't know,
Yeah.
they probably don't treat them as fairly as well.
Just to add on your point, it's actually there, like not only in Malaysia, like around the world. Like there's a country, there's a number of countries that okay, let's say you're not from that country, right? And you come in and you ask for a loan to start a business.
Oh yeah,
They give you a
actually, yeah.
business, and then you're now starting to hire employees. There's some governments that say that if you want to have a company in our country, you have to like maybe like 50% or like more than like 50% have to be natives, from the same country, from that
Yeah.
country, and then the rest can be your people. I think the way the government does that, I think it's a good thing.
I think it's actually a good thing
Yeah.
as well, because we don't want people to prioritize one ethnicity over the
Yeah.
other. We should be giving them equal chances, equal
Yep.
opportunities. While they may be filling up the quota, but are you sure that they will treat all the employees equally and fairly?
Yeah. Yeah.
That's another question.
Mm.
That's something we need to ask.
Yes.
Like, if, yeah, of course they will get accepted, sure, no problem. But do they get treated the same way as they treat other employees? Do they get the same benefits?
Yeah, that's questionable.
That is something that we should actually question. It's a good thing that the government is doing this thing where they have to fit the quota,
Yeah.
but they should also check on the
Oh,
the
yeah,
fairness,
yeah.
the
Is it
treat,
welfare?
the
Wellness?
welfare of the
Yeah,
employees.
exactly.
Yeah,
Yeah.
definitely, for sure. Also,
Mm.
it's not just from institutional discrimination. It can also come
Yeah.
from individual discrimination. For example, in workplaces, it could be from your coworker, it could be from your boss. Like, if you're of a certain age, if, like, it's more apparent within employees under the age of 20 and those over the age of 50, because colleagues and superiors would always question their ability to actually do the task, to
Exactly.
perform the
Exactly.
task. Like, oh, you're not old enough for this, you're not experienced enough, so you
Mhm.
cannot work with us, you cannot do this thing as nicely as your other employee.
Yeah.
And then if that person is old, oh, yo, you're too old for this. I
Mm.
don't think you have the ability, you have the energy to do this anymore. Why don't you just go home, retire, and do something
Yeah.
else?
Yeah.
Yeah. So there's definitely. And then also for wealth,
Yeah. Yeah.
mm,
Social. Yeah. Social circles and whatnot.
social,
Yeah.
definitely. Some
So.
people will be like, look at that person. You don't want to end up like that person.
Yeah. Yeah. Don't hang around these
Yeah,
people
don't
because
hang
they don't
around these
have.
people. Their mentality, their mindset, we do not want that in our house.
Yeah. Yeah.
Yeah.
Mm.
It's definitely something that is very big, something
Yes.
that needs to be tackled. But how do we actually resolve this issue? That's the question right here.
I think I always think that if people need to get exposed to different cultures, because most people who are doing this are people who have been in their bubble. They haven't really gone.
They mostly come from
Yeah,
stereotypes.
yeah, yeah.
Yeah, like from movies especially.
Mm.
Oh my god. I think we should start from media.
Exactly.
Definitely.
That is a definite.
Because I
Yeah,
think the media is how they have shaped our perception of different races and
Yeah,
yeah,
different cultures.
I agree.
Right.
yeah,
Yes.
yeah,
Like with Chinese, oh, they eat dogs, they eat cats. That's what they say, right? But
yeah,
no,
yeah.
not I No, I'm sorry. I'm not saying that you guys actually do. I'm just saying that the media painted you guys that way.
Yes.
Yeah.
Yeah. And
Uh,
then also skin color, like the way
oh,
they paint. Oh, like the white people are superior.
yeah. And
And
that was actually like in the 1950s, back in the day. Um, like in media, right? Like movies. They would have a casting call for this movie, and the movie was supposed to have different races,
oh yeah.
right?
Wait, I think I've seen where like the characters are Asians,
Yeah.
but the cast were actually white.
Exactly.
Yeah.
Right.
Yeah, I've
Yeah.
seen that
Yeah.
one.
Yes.
And then they put like some special effects makeup to make them look Asian.
Yeah. Yeah.
That's disrespectful.
Yeah, it
Exactly.
is.
Honestly.
Instead of just actually opening it up to the races that they need, they just open up to the white people, right? And then they do makeup to make them seem like a different race, which is not cool. That is not cool.
Definitely not cool.
Yeah.
I think also in some countries, like East Asian countries, like Japan and South Korea, they are not really used to seeing black people.
Yeah. Yeah.
So
Yeah.
the kids are scared. The kids get scared because
Yeah.
they've never seen
Yeah.
someone with
Yeah.
that skin tone.
Yeah,
Yeah.
I
I've
think
seen.
even the older people, they're like, "Oh my god, what is that?"
Yeah.
I've seen a lot of videos on TikTok about how like people are just staring at people like them.
Yeah.
Y-
Yeah.
I'm so.
They
Oh,
need
go
to.
ahead.
Okay,
What
so actually, I've seen a kid call up, um, a person of color, a brown or black person, chocolate man, something like that.
Oh wait, hold on. I think I saw. Was it on a video?
Yeah, a
I
video.
I think I saw that video.
Oh, and
I
then
think
I've also saw like, I know this is off topic, but I thought it would be funny. But I'm kind of cold when telling jokes. So this kid went and grabbed a baby and then showed it to her mom and then asked, "Oh, can we keep it? It's a chocolate baby."
Oh, what do you think of that, Sunny?
me.
I really have no comments on it. I cannot comment on it. It's something.
But I'm laughing because it's not that. It's because why I'm laughing and not really upset about it is because of the education. You know, you said it was a kid, right? So that kid was probably not educated about
Yeah.
different
Not
races.
educated yet, but
Yeah.
just to continue, that mom actually explained it to the kid and apologized to the mother of that baby. And the mother
At
took it
least, yeah,
well.
At
the
least,
mom
yeah.
took it.
At least
Yeah.
the mom apologized. That's why I'm saying that it needs to
Yes.
start with education.
Yes.
You know.
I
Exactly.
think even within my family, there is some form of racism. Because I am of mixed ethnicity, so I'm Bidayo and Iban mix.
Yeah.
My grandma from my dad's side, she's Bidayo and she's not really a fan of the Ibans. So when my mom first married my dad, she didn't really like my
I
mom.
see.
She, I used to stay with my grandma a lot back then because I like my grandma, but I didn't know what kind of person she was. So I would always be with her, and then she'd be like, "When you get older later on, don't marry an Iban guy." And then if I do something wrong, like if I wash the dishes wrongly, like not to her standards, she'll be like, why would you work? Why would you do all of these things just like Iban people do? It's messy, it's dirty."
Mm.
Because they are known to have like a crazy and wild personality behavior. You
Yeah.
know, like Ibans, when they party really
Yeah.
hard.
Yeah. Yeah.
They drink a lot. So my grandma would always tell me, You can drink, you can party, but don't drink too much like the Ibans do." So I've been distancing myself from her ever since because why would you do that? I'm part my even my mom, it's not like she's fully Iban. She's also part Bidayo, part Iban. And there's nothing she can do about it. It's not something that she can change.
Yeah. Yeah.
Why when I was growing up, I used to be ashamed of admitting that I'm Iban. I used to tell people, "Oh no, I'm not Iban, I'm Bidayo."
Yeah. Yeah.
Like I think when I came back here, that was when I started embracing my Iban side as well. So during IFES, I performed ngajat, which is a
Yeah.
traditional dance for Ibans. So that was me slowly trying to embrace my Iban side. I want to be in touch with both of my culture.
I see.
Yeah.
That's good. Good for you. Good for you.
It's not easy, but
Yeah. Yeah. I
yeah,
understand.
we're
Like it's
working
not.
on it.
Yeah. Yeah.
Have you ever faced anything like that, like identity crisis
Uh,
regarding as a result of discrimination?
I think. Yeah. Yeah. Even in the same race, you still have like colored, yeah, skin tone discrimination too. Like they're black people, right? Black people range from different ranges of light, right? The light skin, they're really light skinned black people who are black people, and then there are dark skinned black people, right? So among the black people, there is also discrimination according to your
Oh,
shade of,
I
yeah,
see.
because usually it's the people who are more on the darker tone, right, who are discriminated against, right? Like if it also kicks into beauty standards, right?
Yeah, true.
Women who are of a darker shade usually are not seen as beautiful,
Yeah.
right? And people who are in lighter shade are more beautiful. But They are. They are. It's really discriminatory because it's not about really the shade of your skin. It's about basically the personality, and also basically the darker shades also have they are beautiful. Yeah. So I'm not really sure what it is, but there is that
Yeah.
discrimination.
Oh, I'm just finding it weird why people discriminate, especially to the people of darker shades. Like, yeah, even yeah, not just like in the black community, but among Asians and Chinese versus
Yeah.
Malays or other races or the natives of Malaysia, and even within like the Chinese community, because actually the Chinese community is very diverse. We have a lot of different ethnic groups and dialects. So like actually within the Chinese community, like some are seen as more inferior to others. So yeah.
True. Even like, in the longhouse for the Evans, they are, people, you can see what kind of life they live. Like it's very different from our lifestyle, and about like how people think differently of these people because they don't earn as much as them. I've seen everything, like the way they treat all these people. It's just, why would you treat someone differently just because they don't earn as much as you do? Just because they live in the countryside and you live in the city, why do they deserve that kind of treatment from you? Have they ever harmed you?
Yeah.
Mm.
Because they also, like these people, they also associate people of lower class with like criminals,
Oh.
like
Yeah. Yeah.
thieves,
Yeah.
those who steal.
Yeah.
But why do you think they do it? They do it to survive.
Yeah. Yeah.
Mm.
Yeah.
Yeah, while it may be morally wrong, but how else can they survive in this cruel world where everyone just, you know treats you based on the traits that you have?
Yeah, again, I think it also comes back to discrimination because like they're not treated equally and they get they don't have the benefits of other people of the people
The
that get
privileges.
yes,
Yes.
the privileges. That's the word.
There are all privileges. We can talk about beauty privileges. There's definitely discrimination based on physical appearance. That
Yeah, a
Oh
is,
lot.
yes. Yes.
Yes.
yeah.
Like
Especially yeah, like in the modeling
Yeah, definitely.
model.
Not necessarily modeling. I
But
mean everywhere you go.
yeah,
Like
everywhere.
even for job interviews, people are more likely to call back the candidates that they think are attractive.
mm,
I mean,
interesting.
yeah, your maybe qualifications matter, but your face also matters.
Mm.
That's why, like in South Korea, they talk about plastic surgery.
Oh
Yeah.
yeah.
Yeah. There's a lot
And
of.
then even they use plastic surgery as a form of like to congratulate someone if they have
Uh.
accomplished something. Like these kids, like they just graduated high school, congratulations, you get a free plastic surgery,
That
Oh.
something like
is.
that. So it's very damaging, really.
That
Mm.
is bad.
Mm.
Like, um, talking about the modeling sector and
Mm.
yeah, basically the modeling sector, and we can tie it to I think skincare, like makeup, yeah,
Yeah.
makeup, shades of makeup, exactly.
Oh
Yeah, yeah,
yes, yes, yes,
yeah,
yes. Like those makeup products, with the wide range of
Mhm.
foundation
yeah,
skin.
yeah.
Yeah, foundation shades.
I think they've only recently started researching into the different shades of other people because it is usually just a set standard.
A lot of
Yeah.
research has to be done,
And
actually.
now recently they have come out. I think there's some brands that have come up with like multiple shades of makeup and
I
whatnot.
remember back then Fenty Beauty by
Yeah,
Rihanna, it went even viral because like their shades, they finally created shades that are that would suit the,
all inclusive
yeah,
basically.
it's very all inclusive
Yeah,
compared
Yeah.
to other brands.
Yes.
Yeah.
Actually.
I think that's a start.
I
I
think
think that is.
especially in luxury brands, you
Mm.
don't
Yeah,
see,
yeah,
it's mostly the palest of the pale shades.
yeah, yeah,
I
yeah.
don't think even Asians can wear them. It's only for the,
Mhm.
the white people.
Yeah, yeah.
Yeah.
I think.
Yeah, I've recently even seen bandages like they've made different colors of
Oh yeah.
bandages and
Yeah.
people can choose their skin color
Yeah,
based on the
yeah,
bandage.
yeah, yeah. I guess. I think I also saw. I've seen it around also, like different types of bandages,
Mm-hmm.
and also what do you call it? Stockings. I think they're stockings, right?
Oh yeah, stockings. The
Yeah, I
ones they
think.
wear. Yeah.
Oh
Yeah, I
yes,
think they've
yes.
also started to bring out different shades of
Different shades.
of
Yeah,
stockings too.
that's good. Even though it's not perfect, but there's still a lot of progress that
Yeah.
it's
Yeah.
being done right now,
Yes.
which is something that I'm really happy. I'm excited to see how it's gonna go from
Yeah.
now
Mm-hmm.
on. So I think that's all for today.